Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining us for a bit of a impromptu live stream, um, which I'm still just setting up. Yes, I know. I've caught you off guard as well, haven't I? Where's my? I'm trying to get my chat on here. On that one. Yeah. How is everybody doing? All doing well? I was in the middle of prepping some work, doing some work towards a new video, and I thought it was quite interesting what I was doing, so I thought I'd hop on and share it all with you. Um, I couldn't quite believe it. It's literally just like normally I schedule a live stream to start a little bit in advance. And I forgot to schedule it this time. I literally just hit sort of create stream and it immediately made it live. And was like, oh, okay, right, let's start it running. And then instantly noticed there was 35 people that all jumped straight on to watch. So, yeah, all good. Cygnus set Rusty Cam so silly. If I don't have Rusty on the screen, people shout. And it's far easier to just... I can't work if Rusty is climbing on me. So, you know, he's got his own spot. But yeah, great to see everyone jumping in. What I am working on is I wasn't going to stream this, but I figured I'd give people fair warning. So this is I'm working on a new video that a Apollo related video, and this is a bit of a forewarning to suggest that people purchase some cheap 3D glasses like these because they're going to be very useful in the video that I'm currently working on. Because I actually had in the last, if you may have seen the video that I did recently about analyzing the Apollo photos that I did for the discussions with Jaren, and there were a few of the photos where I was comparing shots that were taken from slightly different vantage points, slightly different perspectives, and you could see the shift of perspective in the photos. And a couple of people commented asking about could you make it, was it possible to make it a kind of a 3D stereographic type image? And I thought that's quite an interesting idea. So I've been playing around with it, and it turns out you can. So I've put together already a couple of images that work as a stereographic shift. The Mojek, I have some of those glasses. Well, go and get them and find them, because you may see some shots that show it off quite well. For example, I don't want to give too much of the game away. You see, I've already done a couple of these, and some of them I think look really cool. But so we have like, was this one of them? I can't even remember what I've got here. Yeah, there's one. So if you happen to have any of these glasses, that is a stereographic. There is a term for it, and I can't remember what it is. For red and green, I was playing around to see if there was a way of doing it for like showing them on like VR headsets where you have the proper stereographic image. But as of yet, I've not been able to work out how to get it to project properly in a VR headset. It's... Hi, Rusty. You letting Dave Guy use your channel? Yeah, well, Rusty's not using it for the minute. He's just having a little nap. Thank you, Mel. Yes, that's what it is. Anaglyph. I can't remember how you pronounce it, but whichever. But anyway, the problem I've been having, it's a bit of a ball ache, is to do an image like this, you need, it's not just a case of make it red and green. You need images that are from slightly different vantage points to get that depth perception. It's very much like the human eyes. The reason that we can perceive depth the way we can is because we have two eyes. So your right eye is seeing a slightly different perspective to your left eye, and then your brain can put those two images together. So to normally, if you look at like 3D movies like Avatar or any of those, they shoot with a camera that's got basically two lenses to it, or they'll mount two cameras next to each other so the two cameras see slightly different perspectives of a subject, and you can make this three-dimensional image. Well, a lot of the Apollo images, when you go through them, they've taken a sequence of photos, but each time the camera's moved slightly. So you can find occasionally the right images where Mojak, do a side-by-side and YouTube can make it work on many different 3D systems. I'll have to look into it and see. I was trying to do it with my Quest before, and I found if I put the images one on top of the other, I could get it to show as a 3D image. Like if I loaded it onto the headset would rather than project it as a one up and a one down, it would actually put the two images together. But it would only do it when it was trying to do a full 360 degrees. So it's trying to stretch the entire image 360 degrees, which was just crazy. But yeah, so the issue, I say the issue I've been having is going through the Apollo photos and trying to find situations where the camera's moved slightly, but there's still enough overlap to get it to work. And that's what I've been working on, and I thought I'd basically share what I'm doing here just because I found it quite interesting. So this is one I've just been working on now, which is one of Pete Conrad on Apollo 12 going out of the door, out the hatch of the lunar module. And when I had a look on March to the Moon, there's 4 images of this that are taken in quick succession. So I've tried it with the first 2, and it's sort of worked, but it's not quite right. So I'm just about to try it with another 2. If they'll load. So that should be... Here we go. So yeah, this is... I'm hoping to put this together as a video, just basically showing a few different images that I've put together as 3-dimensional. I'll have to have a look into what other ways YouTube can project. That's a fairly good shift, but I'm gonna need to brighten that up because I can't really see much. I love these images for the fact that you can obviously see the big reflection in the visor of the lunar module, and the in fact, I think you probably almost make out the interior there as well. Incredible. You know, it's almost like they're on the bleeding moon. Where was I? So yeah, this is my idea is to try and put a few of these into a Oh, bless. Get a cushion, Eric. Seems you're a bit triggered and probably a bit sore. I like the way Eric constantly calls me a shill, but never actually argues any of the points. Anyway, where are we at there? Will that work, or is that too much cut off? This is the problem I've been having, is trying to find images that sort of fit the criteria. Usually, if you were doing like 3D, proper 3D, you plan ahead for it being done three-dimensional. But obviously, Apollo wasn't shooting most of its stuff. It wasn't really shooting with that in mind. So I'm having to try and dig through the images and see what I can find that sort of fits quite well. So I have already found a few. I mean, to be fair, it's quite handy that they took so many images during the missions that they did, because there's a few good ones that I found. But oh, that one works quite well. I realise anyone now just joining now is going to think I look like a complete tit, but I don't care. Yeah. Okay, that one works. Like I said, definitely recommend, if you've not got these, buy a pair, even just for the sake of my video. They're really not expensive at all. I wound up getting a box of these. So there's like 12 pairs of glasses in the box, and they were about £3. So they're not expensive at all. Amazon special, but yeah, definitely worth it, even just for, like I said, even just for the video that I've got coming up. But I suddenly realised, I thought, I'm going to potentially put this video out next week, and there's going to be a load of people who are just like, that's great, but I can't actually see what you're showing. Right, that's that one done. What did I find next? I had a look through. I've gone through a few different missions. I'd stacked up a couple from Apollos 15, 16, and 17 because they were the ones that took the most images. But then I've just been having a look through Apollo 12 now, and there were a few potentials that caught my eye, which I thought looked quite good. I don't know how long I'm going to stream for, by the way. It's probably not going to be too long. I just thought I'd hop on, show everyone kind of what I'm doing, and give people fair warning that if you've not already got some 3D glasses, it might be worth getting some. And then I'll head off at some point, because once I've got a few more photos lined up, then I can start to start work on actually making the video about it. And I'm kind of somewhat pressed for time, because as some of you will be aware, I'm going away soon. I'm away for 2 weeks visiting the land down under on my honeymoon, so I will be away. Yeah, I'll be away from making videos for a while, so I'm kind of hoping to put together. I've got one video already done that I just need to publish. That's the left, that's the right. But I'm hoping I've got ideas for 2 Apollo based photo videos about the Apollo photos that I need to put together. So I'm hoping if I can get them done before I go away, that should work quite well. Right, let's see how this one looks. Does that one work, or is there too much? Oh, Jesus, that one, no, that one's giving me a headache. Like I said, the problem is with these, they weren't shooting with the mindset of making them a 3D image. So ideally for a 3D image, you want to take one photo sort of there and then move slightly and take another photo there of exactly the same scene. Whatever, that's because I never know who is who on this thread. They're either duplicate. What, Eric? I have no idea. Eric, I've got numerous videos, and all I ever see is the only comments I ever see is you coming on and calling me a shill, but never actually addressing any of the topics of the videos. So, and I'm not getting into any bleeding discussion with you now because, like I said, I'm a little bit busy. Oh, you want to sit there and throw your toys out the pram? You be my guest. That's a shame, because that, not that you can actually tell unless you've got a pair of glasses on, but that's kind of working there around the middle, but it's just, there's too much move, because I don't know which astronaut that is, whether that's Comrade or Bean, but they've moved too much between the frames. So that one's not going to work. What was the next one I got lined up? Load. And then I found some of, because Apollo 12 landed right next to the Surveyor probe, and potentially that might work. There might be too much of a shift there, though. This has been the problem I've found. Some of the images, there's way too much movement, and some of the images, there's not enough. So, yeah, it's been an arduous process, shall we say. What am I doing? Image mode, change it from grayscale. And then center it on Survey. Is that one? That one might not work. I'll give it a go though. That's right, that's left. Got to know which is which, because I've got to make sure that the correct images get turned red and green for it to work with the glasses. Oof. Jeez. Oh, that one's way out, unless way too much, but it might work with the lunar module in the background. Sort of. Slightly. Too far away, I think. Oh, I know what I forgot I needed to do. Another bit of the arduous process with these is removing the crosshairs, because obviously the way the glasses work is one of the images, you need to separate the images. That's why they make these red and green. or red and blue in this case, because you need to get one image to one eye and one image to the other eye, so that your brain, but make it so that your brain is seeing two separate images to merge together, like you would with your eyeballs. But obviously, just putting the picture on the screen doesn't work, because your brain's then seeing both images. So these act like a filter. So yeah, I changed the filter in Photoshop so I get one red image and one green image, and then when it merges them together and you look through the glasses, the images get filtered to the respective eyes. The problem is all the images have these crosshairs on, which just show up as black. So you wind up with like ghosts of these crosshairs, and when you look through the glasses, it just gives you a headache, all the crosshairs there. So I've had to go through and take out all the crosshairs. It does somewhat like screw up some of the details in the image, but it's kind of necessary for the effect that I'm going for. Which, speaking of monkey angst, just not sure what Dave's working on here. So this is preparation for a video that I'm putting together, where I'm basically taking Apollo photos and turning them into 3D stereographic images. So when you view them in the correct, well, a correct way for 3 dimensions, so like these sorts of glasses is what I'm going for here, you'll see a proper 3-dimensional image with depth to it, and it's been working surprisingly well for some of the photos. So this is kind of me, this stream's really just me doing some work on those, but I thought I wanted to share it with you guys, so you can see what I'm up to. And yeah, as kind of a forewarning and a heads up that this video that I'm putting together is probably going to be going live in potentially a week, possibly 2. So that's how long you've got to get hold of some of these glasses. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise not going to be much of a video for you guys to watch. But I would say it's definitely worth it, because they're only cheap glasses. They don't cost a lot. Like I said before, I paid about £3 on Amazon for a box of about a dozen. But definitely worth it, I think, for this. And yeah, plus it's a nice change of pace from the last video that I put out of everyone's favorite flat earther, Mr. Oakley. And if you've watched that video, if you liked it and you've not already, go and hype the images. Go and hype the video as well, because Nathan will really like it if you do that. Okay, that looks better. Yeah. I forgot to do that before. As you can tell, Rusty is enthralled by all of this. Tommy says I can't use a healing brush like that. It's cheating. I know it's cheating, but you know, I'm in a rush, so. The only way to do it without cheating would be to, you know, go to the moon and retake the photos without a resu plate on the camera. And frankly, I've not got the time to do that. Right, so that's that one done. Right. So the last one of the Surveyor probe didn't work. However, these might. And if these don't, I've got another one I found. It's great how many photos they took on these missions to go through and analyze. You know, for apparently faking it in a studio, they certainly went above and beyond, I'll say. I think this is... I had this. I did one of... There's a photo, similar photo to this, but I think it's Al Bean standing next to it. And for some reason, it looked like the shift was more up and down rather than right to left, which is what I'd need. So I'm not sure this one's going to work. But we'll give it a go. You never know. Don't merge that. That's potentially the right one. To left. Is that going to work? I can... There's a hint of it, I think. Probably not enough to work properly. Let me try the other one of Surveyor that I had, which is these. Dougal says, the legend Dougal Dog, who is the one responsible for the outro music that everyone loves on these streams, is in the chat. Hello, Dougal. Says, if you can get these working, you'll make every kid's dream come true. I'm not going to spot. I've got a couple that really have worked really well. So yeah, I think there'll be some in there that if you're particularly if you're a bit of an Apollo nerd, but of a kind of a space nerd like me, you'll really like them. But like I said, I don't want to ruin too much of the surprise. So I wanted to do a video here showing the process of doing it. But yeah, there's a few examples I found that have just worked really well. Is that going to be another bloody up and down? That one might not work either. JB Link says, sorry Dave, we are watching, but the conversations turn to cats. Don't let Rusty hear that. Let's try this, maybe. I'm not seeing that. Is that... Yeah, I had one like this where Al Bean's standing next to the Surveyor and the shift was the wrong way, and I wound up having to do it this way to get the effect. And it's annoying because it worked when you flipped it. But no, they're not working. Pain in the backside. Those ones, unfortunately. Not to worry though, because there's still plenty more. In fact, I found another pair of Albion ones that I was going to try. Trashman asks, Elon's tried 11 times and can't get into space. Well, if you're talking about Starship, he got it into space. I say he, the SpaceX team got it into space. They haven't got to orbit yet. But not because they couldn't. Not sure that one's going to work either. I expect to see a bit of parallax there, and I'm not. No, I don't think the camera's really moved there, so we'll waste our time with that one either. That one I got. Oh yeah, I thought just this one alone I thought was quite hilarious because I've glanced over these before and never actually noticed one of the astronauts next to the lunar module. Never noticed them before because I've always glanced over it like that. I just assumed they were still both over away from it. Yep. Now the question is there any actual movement between the cameras? A little bit. Might be able to get some depth with that one. Ooh, what am I doing? Let's give it a go and see, shall we? Oh, not that one. Rebased by Hose. Dave, how does it feel to have a higher IQ than the average American and battling against flirts that have a mental capacity of a toddler? I've learned so much from your videos. Well, firstly, thank you. Always glad to know that my videos help people and that they find them useful. I don't know about the whole sort of IQ and mental capacities stuff. I think some of it's more just mental blocks than mental capacities. That you can. I think there's plenty of them who have the mental capacity, as in they'd have the ability mentally to fathom this stuff, but they just get stuck in a block that they kind of can't break, and you just need one little bit to just that one little piece of the puzzle to get through to them, and then suddenly, you know, the kind of it'll come crashing down for them, which is ultimately how some get away from it. It sort of works, that one, I think. Not quite as good as some of the other ones that I've got, though. Eric, I'm just going to listen to you rattle your mouth knowing that you're generated by the kingdom of darkness, even though this is outside of the spiritual realm. The devil is the father of lies. Good for you, Eric. Well done. Have a biscuit while you're at it. Those were all of the Apollo 12 ones that I've found thus far. However, where did that go? I've just lost my page. I wanted to have a look through and see what other missions I could find. I remember seeing there was a sequence of photos I wanted to try and get a look at, and I can't remember where I found them. There were ones that I stumbled upon when I was going through images looking for ones to discuss with Jaren, and they were ones from lunar orbit in the lunar module, but you could see the command module was off in the distance, and I had like a sequence of images as they were traveling above the moon, where the command module was sort of fairly fixed relative to him, and I cannot remember where I saw it. I wonder if the flag planting photos might be a good one. It's trying to think of what's going to be a good image, because for a really good 3-dimensional image, you need Eric, that is a contradiction at its best. You might think you're in control of your own mind. That's not true. Think again. If I'm not in control of my own mind, like you say, then how can I think again? I'd have to be in control of my mind to think again. So you've contradicted yourself. Yeah, trying to find an image. The best images that work are ones where there's objects at various distances. So some of the images are just everything's way off in the distance. Some of the shots a lot of the shots are just close-up images. So if you look on Apollo Surface Journal, they've kind of done this with a lot of photos already, but it's ones that are close-up shots where they've taken like detailed shots of the surface. And I'm looking more for wider vista shots, shall we say. Ones like that could sort of work, potentially, but I've already got a good one of the lunar module ascent stage in orbit that worked quite well. Oh, these might be the ones I was thinking of. No, they're not. But that is the CSM off in the distance. I wonder if ones like that might work. It'll be a fun one to try if I can get that. Turn the whole image 90 degrees. Potentially, not too sure. Yeah, but no's come in, triggered as always. Where's the Earth? It's right here in this photo. Are they still downloading? Oh, they are. Well, Let's see what else we can find while we're at it. It's too much of a jump there for the camera. That one's... He's not really moving there, that wouldn't work. And I think he's moved too much for that one as well. Well, that's annoying. Oh look! There's some dust in the feet, like they say never happens. That one might work. I keep downloading the full res like versions for some reason. Right. Oh, it's stuck, that one. Right, let's try flip that. Image rotates counter. That might work. Right, left image. That one goes red. That one goes green. And then crop out all of that. How does that look? I'm not really sure that one's going to work. Work of a center there. Ooh. Almost, actually. That one kind of works. Possibly, if those crosshairs weren't in it, sending me on a trip, that one might work. Let's take those out. I like how Eric's in the chat, having been complaining that this is a really boring video, is still here in the chat. That's always a sign that somebody's triggered. I mean, I appreciate for everybody else, this is not exactly the most interesting of things for most people, but for everybody else, there's Rusty. Although, granted, he ain't doing much either. I keep seeing all these streak marks over the photos, and I'm wondering if particularly like those are bits of radiation. Oh, that's not the heel brush, that's painting. Oh, thank you, Tori, and you are good company as well for joining. Now, does that one work? Kind of does. Probably don't need all of that though. There's definitely some, but the detail's not quite there. I wonder if I can make a high pass. A little trick I learned for trying to make the details stand out, but I don't know if it's going to work in one of these or not. Does that make any difference at all? A little bit. That might be one. Problem is, ideally for a video, this would be the other way around. But for the glasses, it's got to be that way, which is not exactly great. But it still works. Oh, hello. Glad you could join us. Yes, you. What else did I find that was a potential? Where's my page gone? Oh yeah, those ones. Let's get Rusty a bit clearer into view. There we go. this one might work quite well. Because that's definitely something. That's left image. Screen. Right, goes like that. Oof. Yeah, that one works. Just center it over the TV camera. Almost perfect, except he's moved slightly between the shots. So his legs ghosting. It's not perfect, but it's good. Just those crosshairs again are causing me to trip out. And can I just say, I really appreciate that there's 137 people currently sat watching me in silence, just removing crosshairs from a photo, which is quite flattering. It's also going to be quite annoying to some flat earthers who don't even get this many views talking crap for an hour and a half. But yes, thank you for everyone who is currently watching me not being particularly entertaining. But I'm hoping that the work I'm doing here is going to be worth it once I put it into a video. Which anyone who is just joining, what I'm currently doing is trying to make the Apollo photos work with 3D glasses. And if you don't have any 3D glasses, I highly recommend getting a pair for the purpose of the video that I'm doing. They're not very expensive at all. If you just put red-green glasses into Amazon, you'll find them for next to nothing. Definitely worth getting a pair. And if you already have a pair somewhere, I suggest you go and find them, because you'll potentially see some good results here in some of these. That's a fair point, Illusion. I'm probably going to get accused of, I don't know, it's probably some sort of a Masonic ritual, this, isn't it? There's quite a few people noticed that the last video that I did was 33 minutes and 33 seconds long. That one works. I think if no, I don't want that. I want to crop that right down. Yeah, slightly frustrating that his leg is ghosted because he's moved it between the images. But the rest of it actually shows up fairly well, I think. Definitely see some depth there. That's good. So I'll add that one to the list of potentials. Yep. I wonder if because that's the TV camera. I wonder if that's albeit. Oh no, this is 14, isn't it? Not. I thought this was Apollo 12. No, it's Apollo 14. I was going to say, is this when Albion pointed the camera and blew it out? But no. Any more that I can work with here? See, there's ones like this where they're just taking a pan around. And it sort of works from the 3D perspective because the camera's not pivoting exactly on the spot because it's on their chest and they're turning like this. You're essentially getting the camera from two different perspectives, but the problem is that you've only got a small strip of photo of the two photos where they actually overlap, and you wind up losing most of it. Sort of the best effect for a 3D shot would be more if they were standing here, whatever was in the center of the image, so sort of this part of the ascent stage, if they then took a few steps to the side and pointed the camera back at that same spot. But obviously that's not really the sort of behavior that they'd have been doing for this, because it's not the effect they were trying to go for. And then that one may work with these. I'm not sure how the sun flare is going to play up with it, but I'll give it a go. Almost might work with those as well. Let's see. And any others I can find. Might as well give that one a blast, see what they come out like. Okay. There we go. Canadian Space Advocate. Which it's now saying we're the center of the universe, is he? So, what is this going full geocentric, or is he still going that we're somehow flat and the center of the universe? Now, these kind of images would work really well if there was something else in the frame, and I think they're too blurry, unfortunately. give these ones a go while I'm at it. All right, let's see where these play up. Come on. Don't know what it is with March to the Moon. It just hits a point here where I'm like, I try and click download image, and it doesn't give me the box, and then it'll appear and then disappear. Right. Into stack. Oh, they haven't finished downloading yet. I think I've maybe given a bit too much for March to the Moon to try and do. 305 and 306 are nearly done. Right. Okay. Let's see how these work. Let's see. Let's layer that one over that. Is there any actual shift? A little bit, that one might work. What about on this side? It's definitely something. Okay. So that would be right is green, I think. And then that one's red. Okay. Is there anything there? Yes is the answer. Okay, that one works quite well. But I'm just going to check this other side out while I'm at it. Not that one, that one. So let me try making this one red, adding that one in and making it the green one. Oh, hello. It's hard to tell properly because there's too much. There's a lot of ghosting from the sides, but whenever you get, if you get any of this edge strip here, it just becomes really obvious. But, ooh. Trying to just cover the light coming into my vision, but oh wow, that one looks quite wicked. That one looks really cool with the stuff on the ground around the bottom, all around here. Oh, okay, that's trippy. I like that one. I need to take out those crosshairs though. I kind of wish, in hindsight, I'd thought of this before the streams with Jaren. I mean, obviously those would have only been any bloody use if he had the glasses as well, but I'm sure he could have got a pair. Get rid of those. But I was thinking about this before when I was looking through them. This kind of three-dimensional feel to the photos is basically what he was looking for with the parallax. And nothing quite gives you the sense of depth that you get with the 3D image. Illusion says it's pretty sure I've done 33 crosses. Well, you know, I'm aiming for 666 and then I can go to bed. That one looks pretty cool. I think what I might do is throw them both. I'll put them both. Come back to them tomorrow maybe with a fresh set of eyes and see what works best. Because that sort of works. I think the other one, the other side worked quite well as well because you had the flag and the antenna dish that just gave another reference point. So let's do them both. Hell, I'm gonna have to go back. History. Where did I? Oh, I cropped it out. I'm gonna have to go before the crop, which means I've got to redo the bloody crosses. Yay! So that one's green. And that one was the red. No. Have I done that right or wrong? Oh, what am I doing? Heads fried. Those two. Okay. So that one and that one. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that one works. Kind of annoying though because the sunspot is just really overpowering that image. It almost worked better if it was that one in its place. But I don't think that would work. No. Just kind of have to stick it with a blazing sun in view. It's just a shame because you can't really make out the top of the lunar module all too well, but the landscape and the lower section has some really obvious depth to it, which is quite good. So I'm trying to keep up with what's going on in the chat here. Who's arguing what? No idea. Someone catch me up if there's anything important, please. All I can hear is Rusty breathing in my ear. What's Trashman arguing? I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but also, like... Ah, fair enough. Jaren's quiz rock. Is Jaren doing another one of his quizzes? Because I managed to sit into one of his ones the other day. Didn't have much. Usually I don't get to see his streams because of the time zone difference. I'm usually in bed by the time he streams, but I managed to catch one of his quizzes. And I did alright, except I came second. Started off really well, and then I don't know why. I think I just got tired and my head went to shit when one of the subjects, I can't remember what it was. I just wound up blindly guessing for a lot of the questions later on. Jaren's doing them till Christmas. Good. I hope he keeps going with for as much as I know he doesn't like talking about flat Earth and stuff. He occasionally still sort of ducks into covering it, like the one he did the other day with against Dearth, which was pretty good. Certainly got a lot more views than the quizzes do. And I hope he finds something, because it's kind of one of those, it's unfortunately a bit of a crap situation that for doing the honest thing and accepting he was wrong about something, he's now sort of lost his audience and you know, don't really seem fair that he's lost audience for doing the honest thing, and then you've got Witsit who's holding an audience whilst just sort of completely neglecting to figure out how the hell a 24-hour Antarctic sun works. Yeah, that one works as well. Keep rubbing my eyes. It's because my contact lenses are drying out. I normally wear glasses on the streams, but then obviously with these it's a bit of a nightmare. So yeah. Right, I'm gonna have another. Oh, that one I forgot. Was trying to check that one out. Right, let's close up some of these tabs because I've got way too many going here. Oh yeah, downloaded those ones as well. Right, let's see what we've got. Is there perspective shift with these? Oop, I'm gonna do that. Oh, looks like it. I line it on that flagpole. And I do that. Oh, that's not perspective. Damn it. I think if there was actual parallax there, if the camera had moved, the background, the footprints in that there would shift relative to the flag, and it doesn't. So I think that was just distortion, unfortunately. Ah, well, never mind. What is he doing? Right, while they're loading. Couple of super chats. Tori, the legend, for 100 sec says Rusty Snacks. Thank you very much, Tori. I'll be sure he gets some of those. I need to go and get some more for him. Actually, I'll do that tomorrow. And SilkX666, £5 says some money for Rusty. He might want to go shopping. Thank you very much, Silk. He may well do. I will see what he wants to do when he wakes up. Because right now, yeah, that's currently the state of affairs of the dog at the moment. Whereas Wildo says Apollo 16, 17 probably have the best picks. Yeah, I did look through some of 16 and 17. I've already got a couple of those done that work quite well. I just thought I'd have a look through some of the earlier missions as well, just to see. Right, let's see where these are. I'll see how this one comes out. That one ain't gonna work, I don't think. I don't think there's any parallax there. Nah. Ah, well, never mind. we'll scratch that one. Okay, let's see what's in. I've already got a few from 17. Let's have a look at 16. Oh, the flags on 16, they might be good. The flag planting. Not the ones where he's jumping up and saluting. That one's never going to work. Mag 105, don't want that. 106 is also black and white. Well, I'll have a look anyway. No, not really what I'm looking for. Is that got any parallax shift? Let's have a look. Might be something in those. Problem I found is most of, I noticed going through 17, there's loads of photos like this where it's on the rover, but they don't really work for what I'm after. That one might work. I think maybe Ash not move too much. Potentially. Let's try that pair as well while I'm at it. That one and how can he be comfortable like that? Beggars belief sometimes. Often say he's not a dog, he's just an old man. Hello. And now he won't be happy because I've disturbed him. Right. Let's see how these come out. I think what I might do is I'll try these ones and then maybe wrap it up and call it a night, because my eyes are starting to hurt a little bit now as well. Bless him. I just noticed I caught him on my camera just there. I was like, he's sort of half looks like he's just sort of cleaning in his sleep. Right. Where am I at? Oh, I'm a muppet. Pretty sure I've already done this image. I've basically already done these. I think I did them here. Yeah, already done that. Although these sort of look like they might be better. Potentially. That one's the right eye. This one's left eye. Get rid of those. Ugh. Don't know what I did, but I didn't want to do it. Ooh. Sort of works, but I don't think any better than the one I've already got. So we'll scrap that one, and I'm going to try this one last one, and then I'm probably going to call it a night. So, oh, 2 more I've got, and then I'll call it a night. Is that Trash Man in the chat getting confused by radios? I'm catching glimpses of a conversation flying past me, and it looks like it's the case. Okay, so you understand radios, Trash Man. So what's the issue with Nixon's phone call then? What's the Moon's phone number? Moon didn't have a phone number. Same way that CB radios, you can just pick up radio signals. That's all they did. Point a radio antenna at the moon, send the signal. Any radio on the moon picks it up. right side. Not sure this photo is going to work either. I think there's too much movement. But any wires? No. Why would you need wires for a radio? With 7 car batteries. What is everybody's obsession with bleeding car batteries? You know, the Voyager probes are like millions of miles outside of our now outside of our solar system, and they're able to transmit images back. And you're baffled by voice over 250,000 miles. Too much ghosting. He's moved the antenna. Radio antennas to pick up signals. Yes, Trashman. There was a radio antenna on the. They had ones on the moon that could pick up the ones transmitting from Earth. The transmissions from Earth were from huge, massive radio transmitters, like ginormous stations. And likewise, even though the ones on the moon weren't particularly big, they were directional and being picked up by ginormous receivers. Right. I'll try this one, and then that's me done for the night. Sound travels 4,000 miles an hour. Please tell me, Trashman, that you're not trying to work out, trying to suggest that the radio signals going to the moon would have been going at 4,000 miles an hour. I got those the wrong way around. Not happy with that one either. Ah, well, never mind. Right, I'm gonna call it a night. I'll have a look for some more, potentially, tomorrow. I'll see. I mean, I have got a fair few, to be honest. Probably enough already to make the video, I think. I've got some there, ignoring that stretch, ignoring those, because that's not one either. So yeah, I've got a few that are, well, they're all the test ones I was trying to do on my quest before. So I've already got a couple that I think work quite well. So I'll maybe endeavour to put those into a video, which, like I said, I've got two ideas for videos. One's going to be 3-dimensional videos, which you're going to need glasses for, and another one is just generally some of the photos that I've seen that I was looking through. When I was looking through all of the photos for Jaren's stream, there was just odd little bits and pieces within certain photos I just found really interesting. So I'm gonna do probably those two. I've got a video that's done, near enough done. I've just got a few final touch-ups on Coriolis. And then I'm going to do one when I'm back from Australia, tackling somebody's claims about NTSB flight data and the whole life and death situation, apparently proving that the Earth's flat. Yeah. So anyway, I've got a few lined up, and I've got my reading material for the 24-hour flight to Australia. This is a book I bought called Images from the Black, 30 years of recollections about satellite reconnaissance at Kodak. So this is written by somebody called Michael Clayton, who worked at Kodak, working on the Corona and Gambit satellite systems, which, if you'd seen, I did a video the other week talking about those, because it kind of debunks the whole film in a vacuum argument. So this is from somebody who was working at Kodak during that time, and I've not had a proper read through it yet, but definitely seen some mentions in there about the hurdles they had to overcome, such as sending film around the moon and knowing the radiation levels and stuff. So yes, that's going to be my read for the plane, and there and back, and hopefully then we can make a video once I'm back, delving into that a little bit more. If you've not seen the video, just unrelated, the recent my most recent video, the Oakley video, please do, just because it'll really annoy him. Yeah, I did. If you've not seen it and you didn't want to watch it because you don't like him, there's not that much of him apart from right at the very start. There's a section right at the start, which is the most insulty part for him, but I do give you the timestamp of where you can skip ahead. And once you go beyond that, there's not much of him talking anyway. I did intentionally keep it to a minimum, although it was quite funny. He bless him. He streamed today, and I was just intrigued as to whether he would cover what I put out or not. And Jesus, the projection is off the chart. He suggested that I wasn't, he was suggesting that I've not given a sort of fair representation of his rebuttal, because he referenced Simon Dan a few times, where Simon Dan says that surveyors can measure the Earth locally flat, and suggesting that I was only covering the bit where he was criticizing my appearance, and that was the low-hanging fruit, and that I wasn't addressing any of the arguments, just the personal bit, which was funny because my entire video was 33 minutes long, and the bit about him throwing the ad homs was only 6 or 7 minutes long, and the rest of it was ripping apart his cluelessness of elevation angles and talking about how surveyors don't measure the Earth flat. But he didn't mention any of that. He only referenced the personal attack bits, the low-hanging fruit, and then fell silent. It's quite funny. Yeah. What's even funnier is he thinks I give a damn about what he said about me. It's like, his personal attacks were just more amusing than for me than anything else. I know there's quite a few people who were stepping in, sort of defending me in the comments. I really don't mind. Like, it doesn't bother me at the best of times what people say about me or my appearance, but yeah, it coming from Nathan's face, I just found it bloody hilarious. Yeah, but I mean, in reality, Nathan's opinions about me are worth as much as his knowledge about how the Earth gets measured, i.e., the square root of bugger all. So it was quite amusing. But it is nice to know that I trigger him that much, that he has to go straight down the personal attack route, even though 2 days beforehand he was criticizing everybody else for making ad hom attacks. And what was it he said that I thought was poetically put? When you're over the target, you catch a lot of flack. And then he proceeds to throw out an absolute barrage of flack towards me, which can only mean that I'm on the right sort of lines. Yeah, fun times. M. LaRuth, $5 says, "Hey Dave, I enjoy your content. Would you ever consider a video on volcano activity or tectonic plate movement?" I've considered them, but to be honest, I'm assuming you mean in terms of flat Earth. So there's areas like that I've considered as a possibility to cover before. Perhaps to some extent. I think the other one I was considering was earthquakes. I've seen quite a few interesting videos where people have done analysis of earthquakes and showing where there's different tracking stations around the world, and showing the time delays from a earthquake occurring to where the various different stations pick up the times, and strangely how all of the times match a globe. But yeah, I'll have to. There's lots of various different things I'm considering, but I've got to find the time to do them all. Jim Daniels, $5. Thanks for all that you do. Keep up the good work. Hip yeah. Thank you very much, Jim, for the support. And then Tommy Gronvold for 50 knock. Have an awesome trip with the missus, Dave. Just remember, everything in Australia is there to kill you. Oh, I am well aware. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. I'm like, it's a place I've always wanted to visit, and then I'm like, it's always, whenever you hear about anything animal related and trying to kill people, it seems to be always Australia. So yeah, but Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I know it wasn't the most thrilling of watches, but I appreciate everyone who's swung by, and like I said, of anything else, this was more just to get the sort of word out that I am going to be working on this video, because you're going to need some of these glasses to really get the most of it. But like I said, as you can see on screen here, I've already got quite a few, and some of these just look, at least to my eyes, with the glasses on, incredible. So if you haven't got some glasses, go and acquire them from somewhere. And yeah, all being well, I'm hoping that I can get this done in for this week, maybe. I might see, I might delay it and put it off till next week, just sort of spread the videos out a little bit while I'm away, but we shall see. Yeah, but now time to leave you with the amazing outro from the amazing Dougal Dog, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Rusty sits atop his big red chair, casting out looks without a care. With his sidekick Dave close at hand, teaching us about the globe. Sunspots or the new space probe, the daring duo will make their stand. Rusty lies in his big red chair, belly rubs legs up in the air. It's a clever ruse, to be sure. He may look sleepy, don't be deceived. Don't let your thoughts be preconceived. He can spring to life in a big red blur. Rusty has a nose for facts, a science-based directive, battling conspiracy theories, a true canine detective. He can't be denied. So many have tried, so many have failed and ended up dejected, just like the fish John West rejected. So many of them to be corrected. Rusty sleeps in his big red chair, those floppy ears still hear, I swear. He dreams of conspiracies to come. Dave leaves him be, he knows the score. It's action that this hound lives for, and his foes must all eventually succumb. Rusty has a nose for facts, a science-based directive, battling conspiracy theories like a true canine detective. He can't be denied. So many have tried, so many have failed and ended up dejected, just like the fish John West rejected. So many of them to be corrected. Yeah, too many of them to be corrected. Oh, Rusty, you good boy.